Hi, change bringer. Yes, you are a change bringer. But do you know when you change something inside of your inner world, something will change in your world, in the world, and in the universe? That's how powerful we are. Did you know that? And we're gonna bring some changes today. Today it's about communication. Communication. A lot of people have some challenges with communication, and if you follow this video, communication will be much easier. So I give you some instructions. First of all, you need to know what's going on. Okay, let me share my whiteboard here, and let me make some fun drawings again. Okay. Oops. It's gonna come. Yeah, it's here. Okay. So let me choose the color. No black. I don't like to draw in black. Okay. So this is your head. Okay. And this is not so easy, the whiteboard. So you have your right brain part and your left brain part. Yeah. So in this side, the right brain part, all the emotions, physical impulses, visualization, imagination, everything comes in here. Yeah, this is what the right part does. Yeah, you can see it as a very colorful, vivid place. And then your left part of your brain, oops, is the part that does the reasoning and the analytics, and the communication is in there. Yeah, speaking. And what else? Um, all the words escape my mind. Orientation and all of this. Yeah, so it's more a place that is more grayish. Yeah, functional, scientific. Yeah, okay, that's how I imagine it. So, and these two, they communicate from all that comes into the right, gives it to the left, and then the left will make a story about it and puts it into words. Yeah. And that's where it went wrong with me and a lot of people. So a lot of people, when they try to communicate, they become emotional. And what happens? They start using this part instead of that part. And the left part of your brain, that's where the words are. Yeah. And the right part of your brain, that's where your emotions are. But you cannot use your words if these two don't communicate with each other, if these two are not working together. And that's where the whole communication trouble is happening. These two don't communicate with each other. Okay, so Kat, how do I have them communicate with each other? Okay, so right part and your left part. This is where the communication is, and this is where the fantasy and the emotions come in. Okay, among several other things. Yeah, the brain is fantastic. So what happened with me and a lot of different people is that when you try to explain something, you get emotional. Yeah, maybe because you're grow up with a lot of children around you, and you had to do a lot of things for the attention of your parents before they listen to you, and so you got emotional. And you didn't grow up that part. Go and look at my videos growing up, because it's important. and you still react emotional when you wish to explain something. I have a very good story about that. There was a woman, a young woman in her 30s. She came to me and she said, Kat, I'm messing up my relationship and I don't know why, what is happening to me. She said, I love the man in my life. He's with me for 3 or 4 years, and he's blaming me that I don't want to communicate with him. She said, and when I'm with my friends, my girlfriends, I'm, you know, talking and it's very easy. When I'm with him, I am very quiet and it's very hard to express my emotions, to express what I feel. And he's asking me, why are you not communicating with me? Why are you not telling me things, how you feel? And I don't, it's very difficult to learn to know you. And we're at a certain stage now that he says that I'm doing it on purpose. But I don't. I really, really, really wish, and that's a good thing. She made a decision there. I really, really wish to communicate because I love him and I don't want to lose him. I really, really wish to communicate with him. And I started, imagining how it is to communicate. And it would be a wonderful thing, but I don't know how. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I said, okay, let's do this test. And let's talk about your friends, your girlfriends. What are you guys talking about? What is topic? What's the hot topic? And she started blah, 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 blah. And I could easily see that she was using her two part of her brain. Yeah. So she was talking and explaining and da, 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 da. Okay. And then I said to her, now, just pronounce your boyfriend's name. And she did. And she went, boom, completely to the right part of her brain. No communication. And she said, only thinking about his name already blocks me. I said, now I'm gonna let you feel what you do. So start talking about your friends again and observe what part of your head do you feel the intense, tinkling or a pressure, or what are you more aware of your brain, the right part or the left part, whatever. And I didn't say anything. I could see energetically what happened, but she needed to, experience herself. I always guide people to experience themselves. Otherwise, they fall back into their old habits because the soul wants the experiences. That's what I experienced myself many times. So here you go. So she started talking about her girlfriends and the topic she talked, and she was very enthusiastic. And she said, it's like I feel my whole head, and mainly the left part, but I can feel the volume and my whole head, but mainly I feel my left part is more tinkling. Okay, fine. And then speak about your boyfriend. And then she realized, wow, I completely go to the right. And there's no, I explained it to her. The communication is at the left part. So you become very emotional. And what is going on here? She said, yeah, I can feel pressure in here, everywhere. And then I explained it to her. What you do is when you are with your boyfriend, you become very emotional. And then let's go back. Were you emotional with your parents, with your mom, your dad, or your spouse? What happened? How did you feel in your family when you grew up? And yes, she was quite emotional when she had to say something to her mom, because her mom was a very energetic woman. And she was always busy, busy, and it was very hard to capture her attention. And that's what she, didn't grow up. She just keep on communicating with the loved ones, yeah, the ones who she feel a connection with, through the right part of her brain, and she couldn't. You cannot speak if you use the right part of your brain. If somebody gets a stroke at the left part of the brain, they can't speak. Why? Because the device of speaking is at the left. So how do you change that? Well, there's a very, very easy exercise. If you can't feel independent from your brain, you at least can feel your two ears. Your two ears, yeah. Feel your two ears. First, you have to, feel it with your hands, so you become aware of two of them, of both of them, and then you let go, and you keep feeling the ear shells, yeah. Not separate, one by one, but together. And if you feel your two ears together, you cannot go anywhere else than in the middle of your head. And if you're middle of your head, you use your brain completely in one time. That's the tip. That's the secret. And you can train it and train it and repeat it and train it, and observe first. First, observe if you collapse, if you can't speak, and your brain goes, an emotional roar, or you just freeze up emotional, then it's only your left part of your brain. Oh, that happened to me. And when I decided to change something in my communication, that was a rough story, a rough story. I was very in love with a guy. I was in my end of 20s. Yeah, I think end of 20s. And it was for a long time. And I could feel on his energy, and I could see on his energy field when he saw me, woo, sparkles everywhere. So I knew he had the same feeling for me. And then I was too shy. I was an introvert, so forget about it. I was too shy. And then one day I went with a friend to a concert. Um, it was in a beautiful place. It was several concerts in several halls and a lot of people everywhere. And we had some tickets for several concerts. So we went from hall to hall to hall, and we entered a hall just before a concert. And it was classical, or it was at a university where they teach music. I don't know how you say that in English, but anyway, we entered the big room, the big hall, and I saw him coming in, and I was so surprised that he was there. And of course, inside, da 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 da, emotions. And the concert went on, and I kept an eye on him in my corner of my eye. He was down below me, so I could see him. And I could see him turn his head sometimes to see if I still was there. And then the concert was finished. And you know what? My friends met some other my friend who was with me, girlfriend, met some other friends. She was talking, and I was looking around, and I saw him coming towards me. Can you imagine what happened in here? And what I did was I completely went to the right part of my brain. And he said hello, and I just ignored him. And I went away. And I hated myself. But I just collapsed inside. I just collapsed inside. My heart was racing like a lunatic. I could not speak. I didn't even know what language I spoke. I think I just uh, didn't know, and I just went away. And my friend went after me and said, "Hey, you went away. What's going on? What's going on?" And I couldn't speak. I couldn't say anything. I said, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And she saw that I was completely upset. And I had to calm down and tell her what happened. um and then she was, yeah, she, of course, she felt sorry, she felt bad for me, and that was the end of the story. The guy never looked at me, of course, anymore, ever in his life. And I completely understood. But there and then I thought, okay, this is it. I'm going to be a good communicator. I'm going to communicate in different languages, even if it's difficult, because my brain has dyslexia. So I'm going to communicate in different languages. My mother tongue is Flemish. It's, a version of Dutch. So if even if they say you can't speak other languages, I'm gonna speak other languages. And you say, I speak English. It's not that easy for me, but I do. But there and then I decided I'm gonna communicate. So what did I do? I started observing people who were very, very communicative. Yeah, so I started observing what they did with the energy. Yeah, that's a big advantage I have, to see what they do with their energy. And I just copied it. I started copying and copying and copying it. And slowly, and also I did some feeling through here in the throat, and it was completely blocked. It was like a big of chunk of pulling together was in here, and I couldn't feel through it. And yes, it was a challenge, and I did it. I cleaned it up, and I know it's not that fun to put the garbage out, but I did it. And now see me here communicating. And it's a pleasure to communicate with the world, telling your outside world what you feel, how you feel, what you like, what you don't like, not your brain racing off at 500 kilometers an hour. You don't feel the emotions taking over, collapsing, whatever. No, it's all in harmony in here. And it's fun. It's fun to live like that. Your quality of life is huge difference. And to communicate with people is such a pleasure, to explain them, to connect with people, to listen to them, to inspire them, to get inspired. So much fun to do it now when there's no trauma on it anymore. So I wish this also for you. And you can see you can change everything, but you have to make that decision. I made that decision. I was determined. I'm going to be a good communicator. This will never happen to me again. There and then I made the decision. And you see, when you make a decision, we are all big decision makers. We bring changes. If you change something in you, you change something in the world. Your world, the universe. So let's do this. Make this place a beautiful, wonderful place to live in together. Like it, subscribe, send it to other people who have challenges with communication. Remind yourself that you can do it. Maybe listen to it again, to the video again. Whatever you like, do it and bring changes together with me. That's why I make these videos. And yeah, together a nice world. See you in the next video.